Welcome to the Poor Man's Retro Game Room, and one of my favorite genres to play on the NES is run and guns. Man, I love run and guns. I love run and guns really on any system. But the NES had some really good run and guns, and I remember, renting a lot of different run and guns and maybe some games that are on this list back in the day. And so what I thought I would do would be throw this out there. I'd love to hear from you and just kind of start a discussion. What's your 5 favorite run and guns on the NES? I'm going to give you my 5 favorite games, and I'd love to hear from you. I'm sure anybody watching this video would love to hear from you as well. So let's get started. And we're going to start off with my 5th favorite run and gun for the NES, and that is Heavy Barrel. Man, Heavy Barrel is a lot of fun, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments if you played Heavy Barrel or have any memories with it. It is a lot of fun, and I really did discover this kind of later in life. And when I started collecting, and I put some time into it and just had a lot of fun with it. Killing some of those red soldiers to get the keys and to open the crates and try to assemble that heavy barrel, or to find other weapons or power-ups, that type of thing. And there's some really good stage design. It's just chock full of action, of course, and it's kind of like in that Commando style, but it's more complex. The graphics are excellent on it. Sound effects and music is great. Man, I love Heavy Barrel. I love me some good Heavy Barrel action. And, this would be a lot of fun to play couch co-op. Unfortunately, I have not had that opportunity, but great game by Data East, Heavy Barrel. So that's my 5th favorite run and gun on the NES. My 4th favorite one is another game that I discovered later in life, but I love it, man. And I had kind of a hard time deciding where to put this on the list, if it should be 5th or 4th, and I just like it just a tad more than Heavy Barrel, and I don't hear a lot of people talk about this game, and I don't know why. I think it's criminally underrated. It is cool, man. Guerrilla War, from SNK, actually, an SNK game. This game is a blast, and it is hard, man. It is. But it is just a lot of fun. There's a lot of personality to it, and it's on the same vein as Heavy Barrel. Same type of game. And both of these games, honestly, I like Commando on the NES, but man, that game was quirky. Was buggy. These two games, I'm sorry, they're better than Commando on the NES. But I mean, I understand if Commando's on your list, because it does have a lot of nostalgic value to me. But Guerrilla War is just so good, such a solid, polished game. Don't miss out on this one if you haven't heard of it. And it's, fairly decent price, loose anyway. Don't miss out on this one, man. If you see it, pick it up. I recommend it wholeheartedly. But Guerrilla War from SNK, my 4th favorite run and gun for the NES. Alright, and I'd love to hear from you if you've heard of Guerrilla War, played it. And I had a comment on a few videos back. I kind of mentioned Guerrilla War in another video, and somebody told me, and I haven't looked into this yet, but I'd love to hear from you if you have, that on Guerrilla War there was some censorship, I guess, when it came to America. And so I'm going to have to check that out. And he said it wasn't the type of censorship that you usually saw in NES games back in the day. Because I mean, I don't think they removed anything as far as like blood or anything like that. I mean, it's it's just a fun game, man. But interesting fact, if you know anything about that, put it in the comments, man. I'd love to hear from you. Alright, so now we're kind of getting into the nitty-gritty here. And I'm going to have to confess, this one, my number 3, Might be more of a nostalgic pick for me, but man, I love it. It's a solid game. And it was one of those games that I rented often back in the day. When I first got my NES and, went to the rental store, they didn't have a whole lot to choose from, but Gun.Smoke, or Gunsmoke, I'm sure that's a licensing thing, Gun.Smoke, was one of those games. And it was one of those games I rented and just played the heck out of, man. I love the soundtrack. Just when you turn this thing on, fire it up, and hear that music, and just see the kind of the graphics and the atmosphere of the game. I just loved it, man. Getting on your horse, and you gotta, of course, blow barrels open, and you gotta find the wanted poster to draw the boss out at the end of the level and kill him before you can advance to the next level. Vertically scrolling masterpiece, in my opinion. Gun.Smoke, man, such a great game. And one of the first games when I got into collecting and kind of rebuilding my NES library, years later, was on my list as one of the first games that I did collect for the NES. And man, just such a cool game. I don't know, it's just awesome. And of course your A button and your B button shoot in different directions, and then if you hold them both down together at the same time, you're shooting straight. So, the control was a little different, but man, I got used to it. I got really good at it. And, once you learn that and you kind of get the muscle memory down, you don't even think about it. Man, you just pop it in and play, and it's just a blast. And you know what? I think it has really good controls. So, you just got to master that little piece of it, kind of train your brain for that part of it. But, yeah, excellent game. And, all right, so now we're really getting to the nitty-gritty. Last two games are brothers to each other. One came first, and one of them was one that I rented. I mean, anytime it was available, it seemed like we rented it. My brother-in-law, my cousin, my nephew, when we'd go rent a NES game back in the day, was one of the first games we would look for. I never owned it till I started collecting and rebuilding my NES library. I'm really glad I own it now, and it is a masterpiece, and a lot of you are going to put this game at number one. And man, I don't fault you for that at all. I'm going to have a little bit of a twist on it, but yeah. And of course, I'm talking about Contra. Contra is such a good game, man. And the Konami code. I mean, Contra made that code famous. Everybody who had an NES, man, you had to play Contra at least once in your life. And, it was really hard. And when you'd play couch co-op, to me, it made it even harder. Trying to keep track of of your opponents and, your teammate, and you might start to jump to the next jump, and your teammate's not going along with you and kind of leaves you hanging out to dry. So you had to really coordinate. In this game, it was tough back in the day. Now I've gotten a lot better at it nowadays, and it is beatable without the code. But man, we'd punch that code in every single time. We rented it back in the day. Got to where, it was like, who's putting the code in, that type of thing. And, you just got it home. Code was, you were going to put the code in. You were. So, yeah, Contra. Right there, man. Such a great game. I would love to collect the box and instructions for this game at some point in time. Unfortunately, I only own it loose, but man, killer game, classic. Everybody loves it. Would be in the NES Hall of Fame if there was one, Yeah. So, there was a sequel to Contra. And it wasn't as well received by a lot of the, NES, fans back in the day, owners back in the day, people who loved Contra. I don't know if they were expecting more or what, but I hadn't read anything about Super C, and I went to the store and I bought it. And when I got it home, I do remember being a little disappointed. And the more I played it, and the better I got at it, the more I loved it. This game is my favorite run and gun on the NES. And it's the only Contra game I have beat without the code. And I got, when you put the code in on Super C, you get 10 guys. You don't get the 30 guys you get on Contra. And so yeah, I did put the code in when I first bought it. But I got to where I was like, man, I think I'm getting past this game without the code. I'm not using all my guys. And I got to where I didn't need the code and could beat it. And it's just, to me, it is just so good. I love the stage design. I love the bosses are fantastic. Of course they are in Contra. There's just something about Super C that I absolutely love, and I can go back and play Contra, but when I go back and I play Contra, to me it's just not quite as fun as Super C. And I know, man, those are fighting words, but I think there's a few people that would probably agree with me on that too. But Super C is my #1 favorite run and gun on the NES. So, all right. Well, that's about it. That's my top 5 most favorite running guns on the NES. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And if you like this video and you want to help the really small YouTube channel beat the algorithm, hit that like button for me. And if you'd like to see more content like this, make sure and subscribe and ring the bell for notifications when I do come out with new videos. And of course, we do have memberships available and merch on the page as well. On the page, you will be able to find, if you scroll down far enough, a link to my Discord. I'd love to have you in there. Love to talk with you. We post a lot of cool pictures of our collection and have discussions in there and just have a good time. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Thanks for watching this video to the end. And until next time, we'll catch you later.